Chapter I for Dick Higgins. Writing is inhibiting. Sighing, I sit scribbling in ink this pigeon script. I sing with nihilistic witticism, disciplining signs with trifling gimmicks, impish hijinks which highlight stick sigils. Isn't it glib? Isn't it chic? I fit childish insights within rigid limits, writing shtick which might instill priggish misgivings in critics blind with hindsight. I dismiss nitpicking criticism which flirts with Philistinism. I bitch, I kibitz, griping whilst criticizing dimwits, sniping whilst indicting nitwits, dismissing simplistic thinking in which philippic wit is still illicit. Pilgrims, digging in shifts, dig till midnight in mining pits, chipping flint with picks, drilling schist with drills, striking it rich, mining zinc. Irish firms hiring micks whilst firing Brits, bring in smiths with mining skills. Kilnwrights grilling brick in brick kilns, millwrights grinding grist in grist mills. Irish tinsmiths, fiddling with widgets, fix this rig, driving its drills which spin whirring drill bits. I pitch in, fixing things. I rig this winch with its wiring. I fit this drill with its piping. I dig this ditch, filling bins with dirt, piling it high, sifting it, till I find bright prisms twinkling with glitz. Hiking in British districts, I picnic in virgin firths, grinning in mirth with misfit whims, smiling if I find birch twigs, smirking if I find mint sprigs. Mid-spring brings with it singing birds, 6 kinds, finch, siskin, ibis, tit, pipit, swift, whistling shrill chirps, trilling chirr, chirr in high pitch. Kingbirds flit in gliding flight, skimming limpid springs, dipping wingtips in rills which brim with living things, krill, shrimp, brill, fish with gilt fins which swim in flitting zigs. Might Virgil find bliss implicit in this primitivism? Might I mimic him in print if I find his writings inspiring? Fishing till twilight, I sit, drifting in this birch skiff, jigging kingfish with jigs, bringing in fish which nip this bright string, its vivid glint bristling with stick pins. Whilst I slit this fish in its gills, knifing it, slicing it, killing it with skill, shipwrights might trim this jib, swinging it right, hitching it tight, riding brisk winds which pitch this skiff, tipping it, tilting it, till this ship in crisis flips. Rigging rips. Christ, this ship is sinking. Diving in, I swim, fighting this frigid swirl, kicking, kicking, swimming in it, till I sight high cliffs rising indistinct in thick mists lit with lightning. Lightning blinks, striking things in its midst with blinding light. Whirlwinds whirl, driftwinds drift, spindrift is spinning in thrilling whirligigs. Which blind spirit is whining in this whistling din? Is it this grim lich which is writhing in its pit, lifting its lid with whitish limbs, rising vivic with ill will in its mind, victimizing kids, timid with fright? If it is, which blind witch is midwifing its misbirth, binding this hissing jinny with witching spiritism? Is it this thin, sickish girl, twitching in fits whilst writing things in spirit writing? If it isn't, it is I. It is I. Lightning flicks its riding whip, blitzing this night with bright schisms. Sick with phthisis in this drizzling mist, I limp, sniffling, spitting bilic spit, itching livid skin, skin which is tingling with stinging pinpricks. I find this frigid drisk dispiriting. Still, I fight its chilling wind chill. I climb cliffs, flinching with skittish instincts. I might slip, I might twist this infirm wrist, crippling it, wincing whilst I bind it in its splint, cringing whilst I gird it in its sling. Still I risk climbing, sticking with it, striving till I find this rift in which I might fit, hiding in it till winds diminish. Minds grim with nihilism still find first light inspiring. Mild pink in tint, its shining twilight brings bright tidings which lift sinking spirits. With firm will I finish climbing, hiking till I find this inviting inn in which I might sit, dining. I thirst, I bid girls bring stiff drinks, gin fizz which I might sip, whilst finishing this rich dish, nibbling its tidbits, ribs with wings in chili, figs with kiwis in icing. I swig citric drinks with vim, tippling kirsch, imbibing it till giggling I flirt with girlish virgins in miniskirts, wink wink. I miss living in sin, pinching thighs, kissing lips pink with lipstick. Slick pimps, bribing civic kingpins, distill gin in stills, spiking drinks with illicit pills which might bring bliss. Whiz kids in silk-knit shirts script films in which slim girls might strip, jiggling tits, wiggling hips, inciting wild shindigs. Twin siblings in bikinis might kiss rich bigwigs, giving this prim prig his wish, whipping him, tickling him, licking his limp dick till rigid his prick spills its jism. Shit, this ticklish victim is trifling with kink. Sick minds thriving in kinship with pigs might find insipid thrills in this filth. This flick irks critics. It is swinish. It is piggish. It stinks. Thinking within strict limits is stifling. Whilst Viking knights fight griffins, I skirmish with this riddling sphinx, this sigil I. I print lists, filing things, kin with kin, ilk with ilk, inscribing this distinct sign, listing things in which its imprint is intrinsic. I find its missing links, divining its implicit tricks. I find it whilst skin-diving in Fiji. I find it whilst picnicking in Linz. I find it in Enniskillen. I find it in Mississippi. I find it whilst skiing in Minsk. Is this intimism civilizing if Klimt limbs it, if Liszt lilts it? I sigh, I lisp. I finish writing this writ, signing it, kind sir, nihil dicit, finis.